Flea Mortals is one of the best 5e supplements ever.
That's high praise.
Earlier this week, MCDM Productions released the PDF for the long-awaited Flea Mortals, a bestiary of new creatures for 5th edition. While there have been many good bestiary-style books in 5e, we've always been partial to Colville Press's Tome of Beasts series, and quite frankly, Wizards of the Coast's best books for 5th edition are its bestiary books. Flea Mortals is a step above, in part because of how it incorporates the best of 4th edition into its design philosophy, while also improving on some parts of 5e play. Now, if you've ever watched one of Matt Colville's videos, you probably know that he has a soft spot for D&D 4th edition, a game that was built partially in response to World of Warcraft and other MMORPGs of the day. The combat in D&D 4e was a lot more tactical than what we see in 5th edition, with stuff like minion rules and monster roles that help explain what a creature is supposed to do in a combat situation. Colville and the MCDM team, led by James Introcaso, brings back a lot of these concepts in Flea Mortals. Creature roles are emphasized in Flea Mortals with explanations on how to use characters that have roles like ambushers or artillery creatures or brutes in combat. Now, to help rebalance around these more specialized rule sets, and also acknowledge that the current CR system in 5e is broken, Flea Mortals also comes with a new encounter point rating, which is intended to be a lot more flexible and easier to use than the current 5e CR system. Another innovation is the replacement of legendary actions with villain actions. Each leader-type creature or solo-type creature comes with 3 villain actions, a kind of action that can be used once per round. Each trio of actions has different intents and are meant to kind of escalate a battle and make it feel more, well, legendary. For instance, the first villain action is intended to be kind of like an opening move, a way to showcase that this monster is different from the other monsters out there. The second villain action is a crowd control action, which is meant to make the tide shift back into the monster's favor. The final action is kind of like an ultimate move, a big move that's really meant to raise the stakes before the end of the combat. Now, some creatures also have special resistances that allow them to succeed on a saving throw instead of fail, but at the cost of something else, whether that's a temporary debuff on speed or losing a chunk of HP. It's a little bit more dynamic than the legendary resistances that we see in 5e, and takes away some of the, feels bad feelings that you get when using a legendary action. No one likes just to burn a spell slot and have it hand waved away by saying, well, he's using a legendary action, sorry about your luck, and this kind of fixes that. If I had to pick out one flaw with Flea Mortals, it's that the stat blocks here might not be the most compatible with other 5e stat blocks. They're built using the 5e chassis, but compare a CR23 dragon in Flea Mortals with a dragon stat block in the Monster Manual. It's a bit like comparing Middle English to Modern English. They share the same origin and are obviously similar, and heck, you can probably even read sentences in Middle English without too much difficulty, but there's enough differences to intimidate or surprise players used to playing under the more standardized circumstances. Flea Mortals kind of feels like it's 5e with the power limiters off, and that's going to scare some people, especially if they're not used to optimized combat. If you're playing with a group of people who aren't strategy oriented, Flea Mortals might beat the snot out of them. Still, everything I've read from Flea Mortals is great, and I'm excited for Where Evil Dwells, a new boss battle book also published by MCDM Productions that takes the stat blocks from Flea Mortals and shows how they can be used in practical settings. We will give a plug that Where Evil Dwells is currently raising funds on BackerKit right now, so you should go and check that out. Anyways, Flea Mortals gets 2 big thumbs up from us, and we can't wait to hear what you think about the new book. Please let us know about your thoughts about Flea Mortals in the comment section, and as always, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.